There are those moments in life when something deep inside you just knows there's more to your story than what meets the eye. You go to sleep like anyone else, right? But then, in the quiet of the night, something divine begins to stir. A dream comes. And I'm not talking about the kind you shake off in the morning and completely forget by lunchtime. No, this one lingers. It leaves a mark. It stays with you for days, maybe even years. If you've ever woken up from a dream that felt more real than the day before, you might just be in the middle of a divine conversation, one where God is speaking to your heart in ways your waking mind couldn't quite grasp.
So, the question we all ask ourselves when we open our eyes is, was that just a dream, or was God actually trying to tell me something? It's super easy to dismiss these nighttime visions, but the truth is, when God has chosen you, He begins to reveal things that don't always make immediate sense. If you've had dreams that are exceptionally bold, strange, highly symbolic, or even recurring, chances are God is placing His hand on your life in a very specific way. This isn't just random superstition, it's a deeply rooted way the divine communicates, literally calling you out from the crowd and marking you for a specific purpose.
And we aren't the first to experience this. God has always used dreams to reach His people. Throughout Scripture, we see Him choosing ordinary folks through extraordinary dreams. We're talking about Joseph in the Old Testament, Joseph in the New Testament, Daniel over in Babylon, and Paul right on the road to Damascus. God doesn't always wait for a pulpit or a prophecy. Sometimes He just waits for the silence of sleep, and then He speaks. These were totally ordinary people who received extraordinary callings right in the quiet of the night.
All right, let's move into our first major theme, elevation and spiritual warfare. We'll be looking at the first two dream types here.
So let's dive into this first type of dream, climbing or ascending. There's something unmistakably powerful about finding yourself going higher in a dream. Maybe you're climbing a ladder, ascending a mountain, or walking up a massive staircase that just seems to lead into the clouds. In spiritual terms, this elevation is usually symbolic of advancement, a divine calling, or even a heavenly encounter. But notice something here, climbing is hard. It's all uphill. It takes serious strength and endurance. Dreaming of climbing means God is calling you up and out. It's a spiritual promotion in responsibility, influence, or authority. But because elevation requires separation, you might find certain comforts or relationships falling away as you refine for this next level.
Think about Jacob in Genesis chapter 28. He lays his head on a rock out in the middle of nowhere, falls asleep, and sees a literal ladder reaching from earth to heaven with angels ascending and descending. At the very top stood the Lord Himself. Now in that moment, Jacob wasn't just dreaming about a piece of architecture. God was speaking destiny over him. He was being shown that heaven was open over him and that he was chosen. If you're dreaming of climbing, take it as a profound sign. You are not forgotten, heaven is drawing near, and you are being elevated. But then we have our second type of dream, and this one is intense. Dreams of being chased. Waking up out of breath with your heart pounding from running or hiding, that can be absolutely terrifying. But spiritually speaking, these dreams are not always a bad thing. In fact, they might be one of the strongest signs that God has chosen you and the enemy knows it. We really have to contrast the physical fear of danger with the spiritual reality here. When you're chased in a dream, it represents spiritual warfare. It means something in the spirit realm is fully aware of your anointed potential and is actively trying to intimidate or derail you. Think about it. The enemy wouldn't bother attacking someone who's going nowhere.
Just look at the life of David. He was anointed by God and called to be king, yet for years he was chased by Saul, by enemies, and by entire armies. Why? Because David was marked by God. The enemy chases the chosen. But here is the incredibly reassuring part of all this. If you're running in your dream and you keep waking up safe, it means the enemy hasn't caught you. You are protected and covered. God is fiercely protecting the specific calling on your life, and He's actually using that opposition to train you and prove that His hand is securely on you.
Moving on to Section 2, Cleansing and Divine Revelation. Let's explore how water and light play into this.
Now, water in dreams is never just water. It's actually one of the most layered symbols we can encounter. If you're dreaming of clear, flowing, abundant water, it's very often a sign that God is calling you into a deeper relationship. He's telling you it's time to be refreshed and filled. On the flip side, dreams of murky or stormy water might indicate you're in a season of purifying testing or maybe some emotional turmoil. But listen, it has a purpose. It's a divine washing away of things that simply cannot go with you into your next season. And if you happen to dream of water parting, that's a massive indicator of an imminent breakthrough.
We can ground this perfectly with a few biblical examples. When Jesus spoke to the woman at the well, He offered her living, eternal water,
a real call to the depth of the Spirit. Consider Noah. God used a terrifying flood to cleanse the earth, which acted as a profound reset and a completely new beginning. And with Moses at the Red Sea, water was a massive obstacle blocking their path, until God stepped in and parted it. So whether the water in your dream is peaceful, murky, or acting as an obstacle that suddenly parts, it means God is deeply involved in cleansing you and calling you closer to Him.
Okay, let's look at our fourth type of dream, encountering sudden light. When light shows up in a dream, you need to pay absolute attention, because something truly sacred is happening. From the very first words spoken in Genesis, "Let there be light," all the way to Jesus declaring, "I am the light of the world," light is God's signature. If you dream of being in a dark place and sudden light appears, or maybe a whole room just fills with brightness, that's God illuminating hidden truths. The enemy relies heavily on darkness, confusion, and secrecy. So when God shines a light in your sleep, He's lifting the veils of confusion and exposing those lies.
Psalm 119 beautifully frames this experience. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Light in a dream isn't just some cool visual effect, it's a direct delivery of divine instruction. When the physical world around you feels desperately uncertain, God provides this light in your dreams to give you direction. He's showing you the way forward and proving that you've been handpicked to carry that specific revelation.
And this is exactly what happened to Saul on the road to Damascus. He was blinded by a great light from heaven. Now, that wasn't just a sudden physical phenomenon. No, it was a profound spiritual turning point. In that light, God was calling him, renaming him Paul, and setting him apart for a world-changing mission. If you are dreaming of light, it's essentially God's way of saying you are ready for the truth, and He trusts you with it.
All right, Section 3 is all about authority and spiritual birthing. We're going to look at unlocking keys and the symbolism of pregnancy.
Dreaming of being given keys is our fifth sign. In the spiritual realm, keys are never just pieces of metal. If you dream of holding a key, being handed a key, or unlocking a door, this is a literal transfer of kingdom assignment. It means access. God is opening doors to opportunities, revelation, and hidden wisdom that were previously locked up tight. Sometimes these keys fit doors to ancient, mysterious places, really inviting you into spiritual depths that aren't meant for everyone. But remember, keys don't just open things, they also lock. This means you're being given the authority to shut down spiritual torment and close doors the enemy has tried to use against you. The absolutely crucial point here is found in Matthew 16:19, where Jesus says, "I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven." That wasn't just poetry, folks. That was real power. And importantly, it wasn't spoken to the crowds. It was spoken to someone God had specifically chosen. Heaven is authorizing you. You've been entrusted with kingdom keys, which is far more than just basic favor. It is a heavy, divine assignment.
Our sixth dream type is one that often causes the most confusion: dreams of being pregnant or giving birth. You might wake up entirely confused, especially if a physical pregnancy makes absolutely zero sense in your natural life, and definitely if you're a guy. But spiritually, this has everything to do with purpose. We really have to contrast the physical mechanics with the spiritual reality here. What's happening is that God is germinating a new ministry, a new idea, or a vision deep inside of you. You're in a season of spiritual transition, and something brand new is developing, growing, and preparing to emerge.
Just like natural labor, this spiritual birthing process requires intense endurance. It takes time, and honestly, it can be painful. You might feel like you're carrying a promise in total silence, much like Mary carrying Jesus while facing all that doubt and judgment. But look at this incredibly powerful reassurance from Isaiah 66:9. "Do I bring to the moment of birth and not give delivery, says the Lord." God will faithfully finish what He started in you. That dream, that calling, it's uniquely yours.
Next up is Section 4, Encounters with the Divine. This covers angels and prophets.
This brings us to our seventh sign, which involves dreaming of divine messengers, like prophets or angels. When you dream of these figures, you aren't just having a neat spiritual moment, you are having a literal divine encounter. These are incredibly rare and are reserved for sensitive spirits who carry a highly sacred assignment. They come bearing massive weight and urgency, delivering direct commissions, stark warnings, or sometimes just profound, necessary comfort to remind you that heaven is watching and you are right on track. Think about the sheer gravity of these encounters. When Joseph protected the infant Jesus, he received 4 specific dreams, each delivered by an angel with vital instructions. The message was simply too important for guesswork. Or take Daniel, who interpreted dreams with such prophetic intensity that powerful kings relied on him, literally shifting the destiny of entire nations.
If you're having dreams of angels or prophetic figures, heaven is trusting you with revelation that carries the power to alter destinies. No pressure, right?
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, responding to the call. Let's talk about your next steps.
Okay, let's dive into how you actually handle all this. If you're having these dreams, you must actively engage with them. First, steward the dream. Write it down, protect it. Next, pray for absolute clarity. Then, search the scriptures to really ground your experience. And finally, walk forward with absolute boldness. These dreams don't come just to entertain you while you sleep. They come to equip you and push you right into the destiny God has placed over your life.
So, we land on this final thought for our explainer today. If you've recognized yourself in any of these 7 dreams, it's not a coincidence. It is confirmation. You have been marked and set apart. God is telling you that your life is not ordinary. The question you should be asking yourself in the morning isn't, was that God? The real question is, how will you respond? Because the exact same God who spoke through dreams to ancient kings and prophets is speaking to you right now. You've had the dreams. Now, are you ready to live the calling?